Hi, happy midday to ya. It's getting pretty outside again. I'm here as usual to do a quick body check in with myself, hold myself accountable to myself by inviting you to join me if you feel like it. I'm going to do just a little checking in, a little stretching, a little strengthening, a little shaking things off and out. I find that's a good way to start each day. I hope that you're doing whatever you find helps you start your day the right way. I'm going to take a couple of breaths and just bring my attention into the bottoms of my feet, root myself into the earth, hang myself from the center of the sky. It's good to see you out there. Thank you for the love. I do appreciate it. Let's do a swan dive down from the hips. That's a ways below the waist up here where the hip bones sit, down here where the legs come in, bending from there with a relatively flat back, coming all the way down toward the ground. We got to scooch over a little bit. Let's just take a breath or two down here, letting go of the belly, letting go of the back, letting go of the arms and the neck. And then I'm going to roll back up, just checking in with the spine on the way up. Shake out the shoulders. A lot of crunchies in the neck there. Let's go rolling down nice and slow this time. Just starting at the neck, coming on through the spine. Trying to come down one vertebra at a time. Just noticing where there's suppleness, where there's stickiness, where it's stiff, or maybe it wants my attention. And again, just hanging here from the hips, relaxing the back, relaxing the belly. This time I'm going to bend the knees, swinging the arms back, coming into a counter stretch, pushing the hips forward, lifting the chest and the eyes. Shake that out a little bit. Seems like you're awful close over here. See if I can get just a little bit more room. I'm on a slippery blanket. I'm going to step back with the left foot. I'm going to move that blanket. Stepping back with the left foot into a moderate lunge, pulling this back hip forward, tucking the tailbone under, looking for a nice long and strong line through the core with the abdomen and spine working together. Checking that this front knee isn't crunching past the toes, looking for about a 90-degree angle there. Pushing into that back heel. Try not to fall over. It's helpful to have a wall nearby in case you do. I recommend not falling all the way over. If you do, make sure you tuck and roll with it. I'm going to bring arms up overhead, making sure not to crunch up in those shoulders. And then pushing onto that diagonal line, feeling for a nice long line. Out the heel, still pulling those hips into the perpendicular plane. I'm going to come back up to upright and bring these fingertips down, bringing the shoulders down and back, and alternate between a sharp focus on my fingertips and then gazing out past my fingertips, noticing the peripheral view with what I call soft eyes, imagining that I'm seeing all the way around the universe to see the back of my own head. And then bring in that focus again, sharp eyes onto the tips of my fingers. And then again, soft eyes, gazing out past the imaginary horizon, noticing where I notice out here. And then again, sharp eyes, sharp focus on the fingertips. Try to remember to breathe and smile, whatever else you're into. I'm going to focus soft eyes again, all the way out around past the horizon, around my heart, around the earth to see the back of my own head. Then I'm going to shift this back heel forward a little bit onto the side plane, opening the hips now, swinging this knee out, swinging this hip out, checking out the side plane. And then bending from the hips again, coming into a side twisting triangle. I'm going to slide that back hip out just a little bit and using the right arm and right leg against each other for torque and support. Try not to collapse in that side. And then lifting the left arm, gazing past those fingertips. Giving the spine a little twist. All those internal organs, a nice hug. I'm going to bring this arm around the back to reach for this opposite thigh. Give a little more twist, gazing out past that long leg. And unwinding all of that, I'm going to bring this arm on the inside of that right foot, bringing weight onto both hands, and bringing that foot back to meet the back foot, pressing through the palms, through the spine, tipping the tailbone toward the back of the head, pressing into those heels, pressing the heart toward the earth. Let's bend the right knee and press into the left heel a little bit more, and then bending the left knee, pressing into the right, and again pressing into the left, pressing into the right, pressing from both palms through the spine, tipping the tailbone, pressing into both heels, pressing the heart toward the earth. And then I'm going to swing the body forward, lifting the chest through the shoulders, keeping those legs together, letting the belly just drop, lifting the eyes and the chest. I like to wiggle a little bit on those toes, just get a nice stretch through the front, letting the belly just relax and sag, keeping those legs together to protect the low back, trying not to sink in the shoulders. And then lifting those hips, pressing again through the palms, through the tailbone, tipping the tailbone through the back of the head, pressing into those heels. And then I'm going to swing the left foot forward in between the hands for a nice deep lunge. Adjust the stretchy shirt. It's a good time to remind you don't need a special shirt, a special outfit, special hand-built dome to do a little stretching and strengthening. Give yourself a little love. I'm going to step forward with the back foot, hanging again in forward fold. Letting the spine unwind a little bit more. Roll on up again, stacking one vertebra on the next, just checking in with everybody. Shake that out. Shake off the hands and the arms. And then I'm going to step back with the right foot into a moderate lunge. Again, pulling the back hip forward and the forward hip back, looking for a perpendicular line with the hips, parallel lines with the feet. Pressing into that back heel. Checking that this front knee isn't crunching past the toes. Enjoying that lunge for a breath or so, and then I'm going to bring the arms up, making sure not to crunch up in those shoulders. I'm going to push onto that diagonal line, feeling for a nice long line out the heels, through the spine, out the fingertips, still pulling those hips into square by pulling the back hip forward and the forward hip back. And then lifting the body back onto a perpendicular line. I'm going to bring the arms down, gazing at the fingertips with sharp focus, rolling the shoulders back and down a little bit, and then alternating from sharp to soft focus, what I like to call soft eyes, gazing past the fingertips, out at the horizon, noticing my peripheral view, imagining my gaze going all the way around the earth to see the back of my own head. And then again, sharp focus on my fingertips. and soft eyes gazing out past the imaginary horizon. And sharp focus on my fingertips. And then I'm going to shift that back heel onto the perpendicular line, opening the hips. Thank you for the love. Swinging this knee out and this hip out. Checking out this side plane here. Then I'm going to scooch that back heel out a little bit, bending from the hips into a side twisting triangle on the other side. Using now my left arm and leg against each other for torque and support. Try not to collapse. And raising that right arm, gazing past those fingertips. Giving the spine a nice little twist, all the organs, a little hug, and then bringing this arm around the back to reach for this opposite thigh, gazing out past that long leg, giving all those organs a little more wringing out, a little squeeze. And unwinding all of that, I'm going to bring both arms on the inside of that left leg, bringing weight onto both hands, and bringing that front foot back to meet the back foot, pressing through the palms, through the spine, tipping the tailbone, and pressing into those heels, pressing the heart toward the earth. I'm going to come forward into a